red Zerg player, currently 1-0 up. It is none other than Team Liquid's Ret. And his opponent down in the bottom left, the yellow Protoss player, all the way from South Africa, it's StatiC.
All right,
I can hear you tipper-tappering away, JoRoSaR.
Just
Are
a
you
little bit,
tweeting?
Manos. Funnily enough, no, I'm on Facebook. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Facebook writing about StarCraft.
Oh, okay. That's okay
It's
then.
okay.
I thought you actually had a, friend, and it was going to make me worried, because we're StarCraft casters. We don't have those.
Yeah, please, mate. I play video games. Excuse me. Who has time for those? Honestly.
Exactly. Simple things.
Calm
Now,
yourself.
pylon on the low ground. Do you know what that means, JoRoSaR? Quiz time for you.
Quiz time. Does it mean Dark Templars?
Potentially.
Okay,
Well, it could do.
potentially.
Could do.
It could. It might do. But we are going to be seeing, of course, that early expansion come down from StatiC here. Ret, in the meantime, is going to get scouted rather early on in this game. StatiC just wants to make sure Ret maybe isn't trying to close it out with any sort of cheese or something like that. But also bear in mind, Ret, not really a cheesy player, and if he knows he can beat his opponent in a macro game, he will continue and absolutely hammer away until proven otherwise. So things looking okay for both players so far here. And just trying to force that pool, there we go, forcing that pool to go down from Ret. And the probe knows it's going to be as annoying as possible, the natural expansion.
But this is all still looking very normal. It's probably going to be a Nexus first once more from StatiC. If we take a look at his minerals, he's banking up quite a few. The Forge still not being taken. It's a safe map to go Nexus first on, because while it isn't huge, the rush distance is relatively long due to the kind of circular area in the middle.
Yep.
But also... Sorry, do you go?
Well, I was actually about to say, don't forget as well, even though we haven't seen it in a very, very long while, circular area in the middle, high risk, high reward with those 2 gold bases as well. I'd love to see at some point this weekend someone just absolutely go for these.
I reckon that could be something if we get a legendary TVT come up that could come into play.
That might be possible. I'd be really looking forward to that. Of course, guys, we have plenty of legends participating this weekend in a DreamHack Bucharest. Of course, you saw a few of them in the intro video. We have Innovation and Flashed, not to forget MMA here as well. But Ryung is around, SC is around, Tager is here, 4GG makes another appearance. And those are just the Terrans, by the way. If I get into the Protosses and Zergs, at that point you might be thinking, oh, not even sure if the Terrans have a chance anymore.
It's scary times, but also very exciting times for us. And I still maintain the no event, I think, in the entire StarCraft 2 calendar gives me as much hype as a DreamHack. There's just something about it, man.
How about iSeries pub quiz?
This is going to be blasphemous, but no.
Ooh.
And but the reason for that is it's not strictly a StarCraft 2 event, the iSeries pub quiz.
That's quite true. There are more often than not at least one StarCraft-related question.
That's because everyone at iSeries loves StarCraft.
Except
or the organisers do anyway.
Except, didn't you get the last one wrong? I can't even remember what the question was, but I remember there was a StarCraft 2 base question you got wrong.
No, I didn't.
Are you sure? Maybe it was in the picture round. I vaguely remember a lot of banter.
I don't think I did.
No?
Maybe I am mistaken, but I don't think I got a StarCraft question wrong. I thought the question I got wrong was a Mario Kart one.
Admittedly, that was a pretty bad mistake as well.
It was a pretty bad mistake. I said it was Mario Kart, and you were like, no, it's not Mario Kart. And then I was like, oh, okay, because you all agreed on the table. And I was like, it's not Mario Kart then, fine. Said something else, and then you were like, ugh.
Well, remember that.
Yeah, exactly.
We would stick to the lead question.
Exactly, shut up. Now, Red, he's got his third base up, looking all really nice. Everything just pretty much going to plan, and that's why there's not too much to talk about, really. It's just a very standard opening from both players. The robotics facility as well does simply mean that there's 2 big options from a robo. One, it's going to be some really quick tech up towards, say, Colossi, some Immortal Sentry pushes, but it could also be a War Prism for Sentry drops.
Yeah, it could be. Of course, really frustrating when you get dropped and then have a force field go down on your ramp. Something Protosses love to do. Almost a little bit of a legacy troll build here, to be perfectly honest. I haven't seen anyone that isn't Dignitas Bling do it recently, to be fair. But when you get it right, it's so darn effective here. Right now, though, we can see the robotics facility about to complete. Sentry with force field to back up that zealot, and interestingly a stalker coming out, so we're not going to be seeing non-stop sentry production here. This may not end up being an immortal or something similar, and the overlord has actually scouted that the stalker is there as well, so Ret going to want to be doing a little bit of extra reconnaissance to try and work out what Static has in store.
The other thing that's worth noting is Ret has yet to see that robotics facility or the robotics bay that's just got started right down the bottom here. This is going to be very fast Colossi, does not get seen by Ret, and therefore we should be able to see him get a little bit caught by surprise, unless Ret's star sense is really tingling hard now.
Well, I think something will be twitching in Ret's brain right now. He'll say, well, I've seen these stalkers. It's unlikely that he's saving all of his gas for these sentries, so I want to try and rule out Sentry Immortal all in because it just won't hit with as many force fields because we have those stalkers out on the field. So what could it possibly be? And Colossi has to be on the back of his mind right now because there aren't really too many things you can go from here once you've gone down the route that Static has taken. I mean, Ret can't be sure right now, but I bet he has an idea.
Well, I don't think he's seen anything to see that there's robotics bay tech. That's the only thing that is making me go, And because of that, it can be a little bit awkward for Ret to try and work out what to do. Why he's going for this Roach Hydra composition? Because seeing those stalkers, Ret straight away goes, I know this is pretty safe, but it looks actually like this. Well, it's looking very similar to what is a build first done by Parting coming down here by Static with the 2 Immortals and the 2 Colossi.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. Ret needs to see that pretty quickly. Yep, here comes down the additional gateways. It is going to be an all-in. But if Ret scouts this, he should be okay.
Oh, and a Zergling popping up to the front there. I don't think it was quite close enough to see either Immortal in the background. So, I think you're right here. Maybe this could end up catching him by surprise. Ret's still desperately trying to work out what kind of build this is. If it's possible, it's an all-in. We see the second Colossus now being chrono boosted. 4 more gateways going to be completing very, very soon for Static. The supply is currently 84 to 144 in Ret's favor. But we are going to be seeing a very, very scary death ball push come out from Static here shortly.
Now, Ret did see the Immortal. That's the one little saving grace he got. So he may be thinking, okay, well, I know there's an Immortal there, but it's not an Immortal Sentry all-in. The Parting build is very popular for a lot of players at the moment, so he could be expecting it, especially with the Spire coming down. He could try and squeeze out a couple of Corruptors in order to deal with those Colossi as they spawn, but more than anything, Ret has got a very large army at the moment. But 2 Colossi are going to be able to deal so much damage.
And here he goes, Static moving outside his base. Now a single Zergling is going to spot what is going to be coming his way, and Ret immediately going back, trying to figure out, okay, what do I do now? I've seen a Colossus. A bunch of Roaches going to be coming in, actually, to try and make hay while the sun shines here. Immediately picking off the Zealot, and oh, this Colossus is going to get caught completely off guard here as the Roaches move straight into the main base. He wants to force Static to use a round of Warpins to fend off these Roaches so that his attack is not as powerful.
He also picks off a couple of probes here. The Colossus is slightly delayed. The biggest thing is it's buying Ret some time to get out those Corruptors, so he's able to deal with those Colossi slightly quicker. These Roaches still doing actually quite a good job here. We'll be able to pick off all of these gateway units and deal more damage. Meanwhile, over the other side of the map, proxy pylons are starting to come down, and Ret, he could be getting into a very nice spot as long as he deals with these Colossi.
Yeah, Ret is just non-stop producing units right now. He's getting ready for those getting ready, you know, just for those potential Corruptors to come out here, but I'm not even sure he's going to want that. He's just constantly pumping Roaches. Pneumatized Carapace coming down now as well for him, so he can spot what's popping up next, and really, Static
well, here we go. We do see the damage done really nicely. The 2 Colossi picked off by those Corruptors very quickly from the back. We do see some more Roaches, and hard fields are good for Static, but he's taking a lot of damage from the rear here by just a small group of units, and that's the problem for Static right now, is while he has managed to hold a bit of time, he's got no Mothership Core and no Colossi. The Roaches, the Hydras are still pushing for the 2 Immortals, dealing a good amount of damage. Corruption's coming down on those Immortals as well.
Yeah,
it's plowing it.
Really nice force fields there, I have to say, from Static. The problem he has right now is that Ret doesn't actually have to kill this army if he doesn't want to. All he has to do is delay it long enough so he can stay on 200 supply. And if he's able to do that, Static on 74 right now, with all the Warpins in the world, is not going to be able to get up to a size where he can overpower it. Just look at the numbers here from our Zerg player.
Yeah, he's sitting up at 177 supply, 100 supply up, but things not all lost yet. The probe count for Static is lower, but not diabolical. 38. He's lost 11 workers in total, but he's still pumping in and warping in more units. What he's got to try and do is get great force fields to have a chance at this, but every single time he moves up that ramp and losing a wave of units is just, well, it's a little bit frustrating.
It is indeed, and here we go. He's trying to move up into the third base now. Good force fields do initially go down, but is it going to be enough? Just the constant stream of units from Red just going behind the mineral line now as well. There aren't enough force fields to keep up. He's at 179 supply now versus just the 70 and dwindling from Static. His army is about to get crushed. GG. Well played, and liquid.ret takes the first series of the day 2-0.